back, everyone. Today I have a very special lady on my show from Finland, all the way, very spiritual, very shamanic. Eliška from Finland. Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm very good today. It's very gloomy and blue weather. It's like actually not blue at all. It's just gray, and I'm good. I learned probably how not to be influenced by the weather already, but who knows?
Do you have that? Do you feel the weather? Because you know, if it's cloudy, I'm more calm, and it's sunny, I just want to get out.
Yeah, like so much. I feel it so much. And especially because here in Finland, I'm actually originally from Czech Republic, and there's just different weather. And in Finland, you know, I'm living here fourth year. So 3 years and a half, well, almost four. It will be in September. And like the seasonal darkness is just so dark. I'm not used to this stuff, and yes, my mood, the brain chemistry is just influenced by that so much. And yeah, like it's actually very common here in Finland to have a mental health support, so psychologists and all sort of stuff are normally available through the healthcare centers, like, so it's for free for people, and it's very common that you just go to a psychologist or like a psychiatric nurse or something like this, because, well, it's probably normal for human beings that they need light, and when there's no light, no physical light, then the brain chemistry just gets funky and you start to feel gloomy and really tired, and it really affects you in your everyday life. And it's not like it's half a year, it's even more than half a year, because the darkness started on September, and the spring, the actual spring starts on May. Now it started to snow again. So it's like almost April and it's snowing and it's gloomy. And yesterday it was sunny. So what happens when it's sunny? Well, everybody goes out and just sunbath because it's so rare. So it really teaches you how to enjoy the sun when it's there.
Yeah. And let me ask you, in Finland, do you have the northern lights, and do you have like 12-hour darkness and can only light, like, you know,
yes.
where you,
Yeah. It also depends where exactly you live, because I live on the south, so in Helsinki, or on the outskirts of Helsinki, and we actually had northern lights a few times here. I never saw it because it was cloudy. But usually you get to see northern lights a little bit more north, like 2 hours by car from here, and you're there. But I never saw it. I will probably just have to plan, or I really want to plan some special vacation or something somewhere where I can just observe northern lights. But it's here, like it's so common. And in the summer you can sunbath from the morning to the night, because it's really until midnight, you see, and then there are like 2 hours of basically, it's not sunny anymore, but it's not night either. So you have to have those curtains in your windows so that you could sleep. Yeah, like summers are amazing, and winters, oh my God.
they're really hard, huh?
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. Are you taking any supplements like vitamin D to keep you going for the darkness?
Yeah. Vitamin D and all sort of other vitamins. And now I even got a supplement of serotonin, because I had really like probably my brain had problems to make one, because serotonin basically is being made in the brain when it's sunny too, or when you're going outside. And I even wasn't going outside that much, so now I'm taking this from like a prescription from the doctor, and it really helps. Like now I feel like I don't have to wait only for the summer to function.
Yeah, no, it must be difficult. It must. And what made you move to Finland, may I ask?
Yeah, definitely. Well, this is such an important, and already we're going to the shamanic world with this question, like a lot. Well, something happened to my sound? No, the sound is still okay.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, good,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, I was, I lived in Czech for basically my whole life, and in Prague for about 7 years, where I was studying performing arts, and where also I got to study like martial arts. And I was studying movement, so we had yoga every day and Tai Chi like 2 times a week. And when you're studying like mime and nonverbal theater, then all sort of these like energy, physical energy exercises are included. And basically, what happens that it you start to be physically so strong that like visions and all this stuff, if you have tendencies to have this, because I have been open in this matter since I was a child, then in a very like grounded way it starts to happen as also a vision of what you want to create, but also like really like for healing you can use this, or vision of the future in vivid dreams and stuff like that. And what even enhanced this process was when I was studying 1 year in Cornwall, which is very Celtic area, and I was there in a very small town at the university studying dance, where I was just dancing and in this Cornish environment, and I suddenly started to like feel or hear, maybe more like hear, all the trees around me and all the stories. And it's like, okay, I wasn't used to this because I never really attended any sort of like esoteric or shamanic or any sort of workshops. I was just studying art and physical movement. And basically, it went all the way to the spirituality through this, even though I was spiritual for my whole life because I have been raised in a Christian community. So I have been raised in spirituality through religion. So it wasn't like I would start at like 24. It was more like the final step. And there, when I lived there for 1 year, and like the shamanism through books, through people, through these direct experiences just was coming to me. I just felt like, oh, this is some sort of awakening, which I didn't have the words to describe just back then. But now I know it was one major awakening and a calling. And then I felt this calling to join these core shamanism courses that has been there in Prague, where I studied after Cornwall and worked. And I yeah, after that, after those 2 years of basically studying shamanism and art together, and I was writing my master thesis at the university of basically applying the shamanistic and trance principles in the work of a modern mime and actor. And I had this sort of theory, which of course I'm not the only one having this theory of performing artist having this sort of a role of not just acting and being famous, but also the deeper role of it as maybe some sort of a priest or some sort of a spiritual guide that he guides through his performances, because he basically accesses this deep state anyway through his creative process. And when it is connected through the direct trance work and through the training maybe of core shamanism of or any other spiritual practice, then it basically connects this performer and a shaman or a spiritual guide or a leader maybe in that performance, and that performance can transcend also into a healing session maybe. And that there was somehow very thin line for me that I saw between healing and um, between maybe be performing And yeah, like this showed to me like this is important for you, this is something you should develop in your life, and also this is your role. So I felt in many dreams and in many visions like I should move after Prague, that it was good for studying and that I got everything I needed, but it is not good for my further life, because I got my master degree. I also was after that teaching and performing in the new circus and in physical theater companies, and I just wasn't happy. I just felt like I need something more. I need to go further, to just yeah, to go further, because I felt like that's it, what Prague can give me, what Czech Republic can give me, and it gave me so much, where nothing nothing could give me this. But that was it. In my 25 years old, I was done, and I knew that I need to grow again, that it's not like in 25 years, in your country, and now I'm going to die, or I don't know. It's like the end of process. So I realized that I can move. I have the language possibilities. I have all my abilities, and that I should travel. I should just move. And we were speaking with my husband. Also, I saw it on him that he should grow somewhere else where he would actually get opportunities for his growth, and that the Czech Republic just doesn't allow us, or doesn't give us these opportunities, because yeah, the people just gave us what they could. And I once just asked him like, where would you like to go? And I had Finland in my head for like 3 years maybe. I even started to learn a little bit Finnish back then. I had one friend from Finland, or actually sort of a lot of friends that were actually studying on our university as Erasmus students. So it was like connected somehow, like Czech Republic and Finland, even though I never was there, I had never have been there before. And he said Finland, because once I was there with my father, and I was like,
Wow.
okay, let's just move there. So we just said that in 1 year, this is our deadline to move. And even though we didn't have basically anything that year after that in Finland, um, we we had something, because we had this vision, and that's first, right? And this inner calling and the energy, that energy really made me to somehow fly over this valley and over this void, and just land in Finland, even though we really everybody was like asking, do you have somewhere to live? No. Do you have a job there? No. But we know that we should go there, and we did. And even though it seems to be like very impossible to even get a flat here, I was here only for 1 week, actually 2 weeks, or 10 days. For like uh 4 days I was spending in an ancestral healing workshop, and the other days I was basically spending by walking in Finland, in Helsinki, and searching for a flat. And at the end, I got it.
Wow.
And it was like, yeah, if we should be here, then everybody will work for us. And it did. But it was like so, I think this was really like the top of my spiritual skills, of my manifestation skills, and I had to do like shamanic journeying every day to really calm down the mind, the stress from, not really having anything, and to get back to myself, to the faith that this is for me, and I don't have to force it, to like just allow and rest. And it was so hard for me, because normally, it just gets you the stress, right? Like you want to have some sort of security and control over your life, and I didn't have this. But it worked out, and then we moved here. And 3 days after that, my husband got a job, and
Oh,
it was
God.
like, okay, and everybody was like, wait a second, English speaking job in Helsinki in 3 days. Like, guys, this
Brilliant.
doesn't happen. And that just like proved that we should be here. And then everything basically like slowed down a little bit. We even met a girl. They basically accepted us or hired us, or like started to cooperate with us. They have a dance company, and basically included us as mimes. So it's now a dance and mime company. And like after 3 months that we were here, we opened this company. So or this mime, yeah, mime company, Hell Mime, like Helsinki Mimes, but it's fine, like Hell Mime, like from hell. But no, it's just like a joke. Mimes from hell. and and there was people coming to the theater, and it was all just like nice. And then 1 week after that there was corona and everything was shut, and basically the company couldn't continue in the speed that we thought it would. So it was like 2 years or 1 year and a half pause for us, and I was really called to work on my shamanic healing skills, on my own healing itself, which I work, I think we work on our healing for our whole life, but yeah, like a lot of stuff that I didn't address in Prague, or I even couldn't because I didn't have um the space and the time for that. Now I could because there was the corona, and I was thinking I still needed this pause. I needed this pause so much, and now I'm accepting it. So I basically grew so much in this pause because I couldn't do art, so I was doing mostly shamanism, and that's also where Little Urban Shaman was born, because this was my most this was my focus, and still is. And now we are even playing with the company, with Helmheim. And now, actually, this Saturday, we start a library tour in Helsinki libraries. And it ends in May. So I'm very happy. And everybody that will watch this from Finland that come, it's on Saturdays in different sort of libraries. And you can just like Google on my profile, it will be, or Aurako dance and mime, and there's also like information, or hellmime dot fi, and there's also information, and so that you would know in which library we are playing, because it always changes. So if you come to wrong library in the wrong time, that we will not be there.
Are you gonna travel all over Finland or only Helsinki?
It's also only Helsinki now, but we actually planned to enlarge it to maybe Tampere and Turku libraries, but so far it's only Helsinki. And also this year, the funds from the city were cut a lot for a lot of
Okay.
yeah, so the company doesn't even have like that much money. So we have this tour, and then well, who knows what will be? Maybe some festivals, but who knows? Because this year we're really on a budget, so I will probably again, I feel like when there's not that much theater, then there's the calling to do my own creative and spiritual work. So I'm about to start to make much more music, and then I'm really planning a retreat or something like this with one also martial art and medicine woman. So we're just like about to discuss it. She's from Germany, and I would like to go this way. So if that happens, that we don't have that much theater, then I will focus obviously my energy this way. So yeah, this is my life right now, and maybe in a year it will be completely different.
You never know. Tell me more about the urban shaman. What do you think about?
Once more the question.
The urban shaman.
What?
You're the urban
Yeah.
shaman.
Huh?
So what do you think about? What does it present? How could you help others? What could you do? How was it? What's the creation? What's the
Yes, 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 yes.
background and the foreground? What
Mm-hmm.
is it basically?
Yes, 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 yes. Good. Well, there's actually now I wanted to try to define it for myself too, so that I would communicate it well to the audience and to people, so that they would know actually what they can expect and what they can, like buy, or what can they experience with me. So this is like my why it's not maybe that well communicated just yet, because I actually have a problem, and always had when I was a child, to verbally communicate feelings and thoughts, like to translate all these energies basically in me and put it into words. So because there's so many things, I mostly perceive reality as bunch of, well, as energies that are like going in me, and that I feel it somehow, and all this stuff I need to basically translate. And I had this problem like to do this since I was a child, and now I'm actually sort of good at it, so we can have a conversation, but still I need to find words for what I'm doing, so that it was so clear for people, because sometimes I'm like, I explained it and people are like, yeah, but maybe if like aliens came, that they would understand, but we are humans, we don't understand. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm an alien in my mind, and that means I have no, I'm learning how to speak to a human. And this is my biggest challenge, but yeah, I will try. So I offer one-on-one sessions, guidance. I have actually two students that are working with me as apprentices for 4 years. Now it's for, one is second year and one is third year, that they're learning shamanistic practices, their empowerment. And what I'm focused on, these are both women. I also work with men, but the apprentices are all women. And I was thinking, why? And then I realized, well, because I'm focused on activating women's DNA, and because in women's DNA there is natural healing abilities, but different than in men. It's just like so quick with women. I just do compose basically their energy architecture by directly guiding them through shamanic journeys that are, because every shamanic journey will basically do something in your energy world, and if you compose it well, then you can unlock these like superpowers, I call it, very quickly. And what is not quick is this sort of deconditioning, or like healing, somebody says. But what I see it is like detoxification of old thoughts, of old behaviors, and this sort of decision, like to really be who I should be, and not the one that I was for 30 years. And but the spiritual progress itself is actually surprisingly quick for me, and I'm not really making it quicker. I'm really adjusting to people's needs, but I'm surprised that sometimes we just move on a healing session, or like it's teaching and healing at the same time, right? Because I'm focusing on this evolution of that person. So when there's needed a healing, then there's also needed a teaching, so that it was implemented and the action can be taken in a different manner in the physical life. And um, I forgot what I was talking about. Sorry, it sometimes happens to me that I'm like quickly going and then I forget what I was.
You have two apprentices learning with you, one in the third year, one in the first year. You are working with the women's DNA because you better can compose it. Yeah.
Yes. And these two women already started to have very anchored, like their power is completely there. That means also their own joy, even in, well, one basically completely restructured her life, so she moved to a new house and had have a new partner. So she made her life joyous, like obviously, but the other one basically has very similar life that she has, even though but she started to create opportunities for herself. And even though her life wasn't that easy, she got so much power that now she's happy and very like joyous. And I even told her, like, now you have energy of a 25 years old woman. She's almost 33, 34, and like it happened in 1 year.
Wow.
And So it doesn't necessarily mean that what makes us happy is different circumstances. Sometimes we can be in the same circumstances because we chose to be, but we are so powerful that we are different people in the same circumstances and thus joyous and thus happy. Thus we are able to transform the circumstance within our own power or with our own power, from within. And this is the healing that she provides for her husband, for her children that she teaches, and this is her mission. So basically, if her mind wanted, something else, then it wouldn't really work, because her mission and what her soul chose is the circumstances that she was in, but she wanted to be a person that is happy even though it's hard, and now she can be, and then she will basically lead other women that chose to have like very demanding physical circumstances how to be those powerful women, because she has the power, right? And this is the thing, that every woman has a very different calling and different superpowers that unlocks. So that's why it's easier to lead women or guide women, because they are not so stuck in their minds. They are not stuck with how their life should look like, or they are fluid like the water, and they know that what is important, so that they would be happy, their children would be happy, they would feel happy and powerful to do stuff, and they don't have these sort of like, how should it be? And if so, then this is the detoxification that goes away, but it goes much quicker than in men. Like the men that I have worked with, who, like, sometimes it's not even possible to work with them in a long-term run, because they do not allow the energy changes because of their mind. They're like, but I am right, this is how it is, and prove me wrong. And I'm like, I can't prove you wrong, because you have just created this, the reality that it is this way, because your mind creates the reality. And female, they understand this very quickly, and they're like, okay, so when I'm creating it with what I'm thinking about, let's say, because this is how you then take actions. If you think that people are bad, that you will take actions according to that, and you will maybe start to be aggressive or afraid of people, and etc. And women understand this. They understand that they are responsible for their own well-being and their own actions, whereas men, they suddenly, sometimes they just don't understand it so quickly. But I'm very like open to work with men in long-term run too, and there were men that were actually going through my programs, and they were successful in achieving what they wanted and in understanding what they wanted, and it just like it takes a little bit longer, and they are not usually like my apprentices. So yeah, I think that I'm really specialized for women to unlock their superpowers so that they could heal. But these are, not that I would teach them like, this is the shamanic healing, this is Reiki, this is this, and when you learn it, you are a healer. No, every woman, well, this is the basic, right? But every woman has a special method how to heal. And this is like the authentic expression. I really stress this, or like put the emphasis on the authentic expression, because female authentic expression is healing. But usually female are just like not very authentic. They do not sing just like that, they do not dance, they do not say what they just think, because they are not in their power. And when you put a female into her power, she starts to unravel these healing and also psychic abilities, like just like that, just putting a female into her power, and she starts to be psychic and a healer by herself. Of course, it needs guidance. For example, now I have put these two apprentices together and said, okay, now you two have the same tasks, and you will share it with yourself, you will heal yourself, and then I can, for example, make a workshop, and I have one-on-one session separately with each of her. so that I would know like what abilities are now growing and where should I guide her. But yeah, it's so fun. And what I really like that I'm not rushing it, because I have even seen that, you know, there are people that have apprentices and stuff or apprenticeship, but it lasts for like not even a year, and it's not like one-on-one, you know, or and I'm thinking you can't skip this process. Like to make a healer, it's just 2 years to put that person into her power completely and to unravel these spontaneous skills so that it would be strong enough and like so that the person or the woman could really start to heal others so that she wouldn't be drained, she would be in her power, and she would also have her physical life. It can be even like 5 years, you know. So it's like when I'm going, for example, to a university, when I was studying mime, after 3 years I was a bachelor, and yes, I had certain skills, I had even my own performance, to play, I had a lot of stuff, but then I continued to be a master, right? And after that I still continued to be well, to make my research through my practice in life. And if I wanted to apply for a PhD, I would have to have even more experiences. And with shamanism, it's the same. Like you cannot create a holistic healer or a shamanic healer in 1 year. You just can't. And if somebody says that she or he can, well, you can teach the skills to these people. You can teach the skills, but these people will have to go through their own initiations in order. And these initiations, if they don't go through it before or through with you, then they will go through it with their clients, and it will be really hard trial for them. So this is the thing.
And are your apprenticeship on or offline or both?
It's online. It's most it's for now it's only online because I live in Finland, and one of these women is well, all of these people that work with me, even like this apprenticeship, this is uh, they basically have just one-on-one sessions with me, but so regular that they became apprentices, right? So one is from Czech Republic, one is from Slovak Republic or Slovakia. So it has to be online because we don't see each other. And then there are people that I worked with. One was from Canada and one was from Germany, living in Russia, and you know, all sort of like everywhere, right? So mostly online, or I would even say only online. I had healing sessions here in Finland, so it was like they came to me, and I have a lot of music instruments, right? And like it's a different perception when you're here live, right? But online, for what I focus on, which is mostly energy architecture, that opens basically the gates or portals in you, throughout which your soul can like upgrade your genes so that the superpower was born or like opened in your physical body. I don't actually have to be with these people live, because I do it through the journeying and through like my own coding and healing and all this stuff. It's like I don't need to touch these people, right? And then when they need when they need like help in their physical life, they are already guided to do it themselves. So, you know what I mean? For example, what could they need? Like massage, maybe. Well, all these people are so self-efficient that they are able to hire a massage therapist by themselves. I don't have to do that. So basically, for this sort of work, you don't have to have that person live at all. And it's maybe sometimes even good, because I know that the people relax much quicker when they're in their own space. And also the spontaneous creativity. When you're inside of your space physically, then you start to have, well, you're relaxed, much more relaxed than when you're in some sort of therapist room or something of somebody else, and this basically puts the resistance of the mind away completely. So I think that maybe even like the online healing and guiding that I'm doing is maybe even better, or something that people in urban societies in cities need, because they have so many things like life, and there are even like there's so many ceremonies and so many things that you can do now. It's so popular to use any sort of medicine, especially from American continent, and just like do this stuff. And I'm like, yes, but your inner work, nobody does that. Even your medicine doesn't do it. Once you just need to sit on your bed and do your inner work, and you don't have to have any sort of people with you. You can have your guide on Messenger. For example, my teacher, he's from India. He lives in Essex, actually,
UK.
in the UK,
Yeah.
exactly. But he's very much
First of all, like, oh, he's from India. Oh, wow. I can, oh, actually live in Essex. Oh, okay.
He does, yes,
Okay.
which is good because it's accessible.
Yeah.
He lives there for like 20 years already in Britain.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's sort of old. So, or no, if he sees that, no, definitely he's not old. But yeah, he's Indian, and he has some sort of like a teacher in Tibet. So he's a lot, like half a year sometimes in Tibet with him. But yeah. We have only online sessions, and not even like video calls. Like I have always video calls that I also record, so that because sometimes I'm also like oracle or channeling stuff for people, and it's really good when it's recorded, and then you can go through it once again. So I use Google Meet, not Zoom, but it's the same, and you just like record it, and then you have all your sessions, all your messages in that video. But with my teacher, we just use chat, because the energy work is still what you have to feel in your own feelings. Like you don't even have to hear that person, because you need to be hearing your own energies, the flow, where it goes, what visions does it give you, and what do you do in these visions, how you proceed further, because you still need to go through it with your own power. Nobody can grab you there, not even the medicine, even though it can help when it's like, I think that medicine is here, and not just like like not drugs, but like ayahuasca or stuff. It can be medicine, but also medicine can be antidepressants, maybe. All these things are medicine that can just make your way easier when you are not strong enough, and when the obstacle is too big. So that's why the medicine is here. But if your own power, even physical power, is when you're so strong in your own being, that no obstacle can really overcome you, then you don't need medicine. And this is where I guide my students, and that's why I'm also not doing everything for them. And I've created the app, the UNIBEING app, that
Yeah, I wanted to talk about it. Tell
yes,
more about the app. That was could be
we
my
will
next
definitely,
question.
definitely,
Yeah.
yes. So I've created this so that people had actually this sort of support for their inner journeying, because this is what people that are already familiar with shamanic journeying or with meditation, what they need. They need less teachers, uh, and maybe even less ceremonies, maybe less community for a while, so that they could really know if they are powerful enough by themselves, without their family, without their community, if they are able to stay in their own power even when there's really bad conditions. And what can help them is guiding through different sort of journeys, because they are already connected with their spirit guides and with their spirit animals and with all these guides that are empowering them, but they are also not doing things for them. they are giving them information how to go through it. So I really emphasize responsibility and power, because this is how you go through. Nobody can unlock anything for you, but people can guide you to be more powerful and self-sufficient. And if something is not guiding you to be self-sufficient, that I'm thinking, I wouldn't go for it, you know? I would only go for things that I can do, that could basically like guide me on my journey and maybe help me when I really have a huge problem. So I'm also having like healing sessions with other people. For example, I'm regularly exchanging healing session with my mother-in-law because she's a healer for like 40 years, and I'm just doing oracle for her. And I even did some like spiritual or shamanic healing that was so sort of profound for like 2 months because of her heart. And she was giving me back the sessions. So it's how it should be, like, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, sorry, you froze for a minute. A healer sometimes needs a healer, is that correct?
Hmm.
Because certain things, for example, removing darkness from you. I mean, or you know, sometimes we do healing work and we not fully protect ourselves. I do a lot of psychopop work, helping the deaf. And I remember I was taken to Iraq, and there's a lot going on there. I mean, there's a lot of psychopop work to do, but it's not like they just go in. It's like they're touching you and stuff. And I was a bit overwhelmed, and I had the energy on me.
Yes,
And so I needed someone to help me to remove them.
yes.
So that's why I'm saying sometimes the healer needs a healer, right?
Yeah.
And let me ask you something. Are you getting always the right information for your clients or for your clients? It's just sometimes I had some experience. I told the lady the information I received, and she was really upset with me, right? And then months later, she realized I was right, but at the moment, I didn't know what to do because that's what I got. Have you ever experienced that you give someone an information and it didn't resonate with them at the moment and can left you in a way? That ever happened to you?
What happened to me, or what is happening? Well, usually the information resonate because it's just somehow like I'm sort of good in channeling or just transferring the information. I'm basically not like making, because what I said, that I have problems to verbalize my own, like to describe it, which is actually very good, because that's where I'm just like sort of empty at the beginning, and then I'm just like transferring the words for them, and it always resonates. But what sometimes happens, or happened, that there was things for these people not to do, like really suggestions: do not do this, do not go this way, otherwise it will not be that good for you, and what you should do instead is this and that. And if that person didn't listen and went that way, so one guy I worked with, it was like not, it was just like 2 healing sessions or something, and he was, yeah, a man, so exactly like his mind was a little bit stronger, or maybe too strong, and he just thought, oh no, let's just do what I would normally do. And in that month, he ended up at antidepressants because he just had like huge depressions. And then he said, yeah, I'm sorry, but what you told me not to do, I did. And now I'm really bad. So next time I will listen to you. And I don't know if he did or not, because sometimes people just can't help themselves, but that's okay. That's okay. And this is also one part of a journey, the healing of the mind, to be receptive and teachable. And that's how you can heal, when you can also heal your mind. Yeah. So, but usually the information, because the information comes also with the journey somehow. So people have the experience and they're like, I maybe some what happens to me is that when, for example, I have in the oracle for them regularly every week, then after 2 months or 2.5 months, people stop and they're like, I need a pause because it's too quick. The evolution is too quick. I'm like, because this stuff are opening, like, so for example, healing abilities or calling to be a leader, and mentally that person maybe doesn't want to be a leader just yet. You know, that it's like, I'm not mentally ready. I know that energetically it already opened, but I need to process. So please, just like, I will have a pause and come back. So this sometimes happens that it's like too quick and people have a pause for a few weeks or months and then they come back. So because they like, okay, I'm ready. Now I'm ready for this.
Yeah. I think it takes time sometimes. I mean, in my experience, I see things like happening straight.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I take the pain away. I don't have pain straight away.
Yeah.
And then other moment it takes really a while to integrate and can slowly get perception change or
Yeah.
get acting change. So I think it really depends on the person and also divine guidance in that sense, because like you just channel, it's not you just the vessel like you said, it's not actually you who, I mean,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
got the healing per se,
Yes,
you're
exactly.
just the healer, the human form of the divine guidance.
Yes.
And what I'm saying is, yeah, sometimes certain things, I mean, in my personal life, it started happening like after 3 months and longer period. So until I integrate and then I realize, oh yeah, that was good healing, and now I
Yes.
understand. And
Yes, yes, yes. I have the same experience, even personal experience with myself, that I did some work on me, and then even like half a year after that, things started to happen.
yeah,
Yeah, this is actually what I find, because these are like individual healing sessions, right? That you
yeah,
do some work and then it has effect after some time. And I was studying for myself, like, why does it have effect after that, you know, that energy? And it's because of some things. Well, one is the resistance, the mind resistance. Then there's the physical resistance. If somebody has a healing session and has thoughts that goes against this new paradigm that is basically opened in him, that he has problems to do different actions, and he with his actions are creating, the people are starts to create the same past version of their reality. So you tell them you need to relax and, for example, stop stressing. I don't tell such a things, but yeah, just
yeah,
like a stupid stupid things example. And these people are like, yeah, I really felt like so much and vivid dreams and everything. It was like a journey in your program, and they still do it with the same stressed energy. And then they're like, why did it stop? Well, because this is the lesson. You need to change your behavior. You
yeah,
need to change. You need to slow down. And this is
yeah,
why it can land even after half a year, because that person relaxed and allowed it to work
to
after half
work,
a
yeah,
year. It would work even the first second you did it if that person was able to allow it. And
yeah,
this is why also regular work with people is so important, and why I've created the app, the UNIBEING, so that people could have already prepared mind, for example, by knowing what does it mean to do shamanic journeying, what does it mean to do the trance work, because then you are basically, I say that UniBeing is like a fitness app for your brain.
nice,
It really is a fitness app for your brain. So it helps you even if you want to be a healer, but also because your brain affects not just your well-being and your health, but it affects what you are creating in your life. So it is for everybody. It is for like if you're stuck in your office and you're just stressed and can't sleep, then UNIBEING is there also. I've actually now created one more, or actually my husband created it, one more program, and it's free. So like whoever now wants to download UNIBEING, it's already in Android for a long time and in iOS. After like many months of struggles, we have the app in iOS again already. So now you can like download it. And there are some things that are for subscription, for example, the whole version of the program, because this is something so deep that I can't, you know, do it for free. But the subscription is really not too much. And yeah, like if somebody just want to try it, they can try it for a month, and it will give them the results. And there are free things. I have implemented also the work into the body. So I have or made a program called Body Meditations. At this moment is also free. Like it was paid for, but now it's also free. I will probably change it a little bit, but these body meditations is like one lesson for 1 week, and you just it is my own method that I have developed through being a mime and a movement artist and shamanic healer and practitioner. And these are combination of physical or energetically physical work, which is not like hardcore fitness, really not. Sometimes we are moving, but it's more like to unlock the authentic expression, to do very spontaneous things. Sometimes it's precise, but you know, sometimes we need some precision. And it's more like learning about how the body works and how the energy body works and how does it work together. And it's always a preparation for a shamanic journey. So at the end, there is like a real shamanic journey, but without a drum, because I've also realized that when a body of a person is ready, you don't need drumming. And this is fun. So this is also like a fitness for people before they even go to their healing or shamanic journey or whatever. They can just follow through those body meditations. And there's stuff even for people that don't want to move at all. They just want to lay in their bed and meditate. So we are now creating soundscapes for meditation, like natural site soundscapes, and also shamanic drumming. There will be, and Tibetan bowls, and all sort of instruments, because we are both musicians. So we are focused on these things so that the sound quality was really good. And even my program, like I'm singing there and basically channeling the energy coding through the singing. So it is something so specific that I have even never like seen somebody doing, like connecting the music and the precise shamanic journeying and the architecture together, because I think that when it's online and when it's really in your ears, you need to have it like very in high quality, which we can do because we were trained to do this. So I'm really thinking it's like a fitness for the mind in a high quality audio. So it's for people. Yeah. And the body meditations I usually record, this is the only thing where the audio isn't that like quality high, because it used to be live sessions, so it's basically recorded through Google Meet, and it's also a video. So what is important is the video, right? But otherwise, it's already there, and just like everybody that sees it, just go and Google UNIBEING, UNIBEING, like unified being, and the whole thing is to unify yourself within yourself, to unify your power, your skills from your soul, just everything inside of you, so that you felt like, okay, this is me. Why did I play small? Like seriously, why did I play small? Because and also I offer the oracles and the one-on-one sessions. I will maybe change it a little bit, like maybe pricing and stuff, but already now there are some offers.
Can you explain a bit more about the oracle? Is it generally, is it basically people come to you and ask you questions, or how does, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Because I realized that I have really strong, and I had this already opened in a Christian community where I was raised. When I was about 16 and 17 years old, I was a lot into like in New Age you say light language, but in Christian you say gift of languages, right? And this opened to me, and also prophetic dreams, and also ability to see others people's dreams and say what it means. So this already opened when I was, well, a teenager, through these Christian practices, and also direct connection with the spirit of all. Basically, I connect in this manner, like Christianity and shamanism, because the spirit of all, like the God, or like I really feel it like it's more like a spirit that is in everything and everyone, that comes from above. So basically, the oracle is this: I'm channeling the God, the spirit, the universe, and people are asking me questions, and I give them answers and guidance. So sometimes it's only answer, but usually it's answer and the healing that they people need, and also the guidance. So usually it's half an hour per week.
Yeah, yeah. Mm.
So yeah, this is the oracle, and we even had like group oracles, which was actually so good because the group itself, it always has something in common. So I had like group, yeah, group channeling, and and then individual, because individuals had questions, right? And sometimes even if they didn't have question, something comes always. And it's so good when somebody really like feels like needs some guidance or advice or something, but doesn't have question and doesn't even know what he wants. Then the oracle is perfect, because every time comes what that person needs. So this is a good thing, and it's not even, yeah, like it's not that demanding maybe as healing sessions or one-on-one sessions, because usually one-on-one sessions are like at least 1 hour, usually 2 hours, and it's like a deeper work. And people that are doing the one-on-one sessions with me regularly, like I said, for example, those two women, they become apprentices. It's like a deep shift. So if somebody wants just an advice, for example, the oracle is really good, and
Yeah,
once a month, maybe a healing
yeah.
session or something like this. Yeah.
Yeah, I call it divination. I don't call it oracle. In my case, I can like divination. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
the same.
divination is good.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Also, this is the thing that sometimes I'm also using divination. I'm using all sort of cards for that, and it's like I just realized that it is a little bit different, and that the dimension of oracle really opened to me back then through the Christianity, and that I would also like shamans to work much more with the divine guidance of the spirit of all, like the force that was in Star Wars, like the force, really. So this is this is like a pure white or gold energy or light that comes, and it's somehow so different. And the divination, and sometimes even like other magical practices I'm using with my um, physical ancestors, like spirits, right? Like those ancestors that actually had in genes some divination. So it's like a physical skill, really. And this oracle, it's more like a soul skill. Yeah, like a soul skill, really.
Brilliant. Now, go wrap it up. What can you die tomorrow? Okay, that's interesting. Can you die tomorrow? I don't know how. It's up to you how you want to die. But what would you leave for the world? What's your final message to the world?
Yeah, my final message, if I should die tomorrow, would be just live according to your own self and feel the power inside of your own skin, like the glow, the shining radiance in your skin. And this is really, if you're asking what's the purpose of life, that this is to shine through your own body. And
Nice.
you should feel the fire in your veins. This is the fire of life, and that's the meaning of life.
Beautiful.
So this.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
I will tag you and anyone can contact you, yeah?
Yes, exactly.
And yeah, please do. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Thank you.
Have a nice
Bye.
day.